Welcome back to Cottage Tranquility, and if you don't already, please hit subscribe and press the bell button for new notifications. All the painting for the outside of the bathroom is now finished. It's just drying, which is great. I've done all of that and also cleaned up the top there and painted the inside here cream as well, which is probably not particularly visible at the moment, but when you're here in person it does make a difference. Any hoodle. The next point of action is to fit the bevel between the doors here. So I need to work out this system. I have to work out how to do this. Yes, new fluffy socks today. So, door span, not a problem. Get these little black doobies. Yeah. Get a lump of wood and a rubber mallet and bang them into place. Okay. Only bit I'm not 100% sure on is this drilling bit. These are the bits that you're given. Going to work out how that all fits together and attempt to fit that. We'll show you my finished efforts. So first things first, I'm going to just clean up this area. Right, all cleaned up. Taking the door width only because I'm going to have skirting board either side. So that comes to, making sure that's pushed right in, 65 centimetres. Okay, time to go cut that out there to size. So let's measure this up. From the end, it was 65. Gets me there. Always measure twice. I know it's the shorter distance of the two is the correct measurement. Going to do the same on the other side. Yeah, happy with that. Which tool shall I use to cut it? Do we use the multi-tool, the jigsaw, or the chop saw for this job? I think that the one that's least likely to go everywhere is the jigsaw. The chop saw will spark, the multi-tool will jump, so I'm going to go for my trusty jigsaw here that was given to me by a good friend. So let me plug that in and then we'll be back. Be very careful trigger on this. I'm going to hold on to this as firmly as possible. Well, how that fits, just going to dust off the filings there. Going to make sure I get all these filings up. Don't want to step into those, or for the cats, because they often try and sneak up here to step into those. So let's go and see if it fits. Will you fit? It might be a smidge too long, but I don't mind that. It's so close. So sort that out, a little sand down, and then get on with fitting that. Now I'm going to attempt to slot these into here. So I'm going to do that and then I'll show you. Okay, so that's how it all fits. What I need to do now is the drilling bit, if that makes sense. To go and get my drill and drill down so that the pegs sit into the floor. And there we have it, folks. So basically I slotted the underside pieces into here. I drilled, used the 55 or 5.5 to drill in a straight line 4 different holes, marking them out on here. And then I had to cut back a little bit of this so that it would fit. And then using the carpet, the laminate flooring tool, use this upside down with a rubber lamp hammer just to knock those into place. So basically you put the plastic pegs into the underside of this, not into the floor. You marry them up against the holes that you've drilled, and then you position this, and then you literally use brute force to knock them into place. And there we have it. One floor bevel that I'm very happy with, that fits all the way across. So now the door bevel's done and the painting for the framework is all done. My next job is to silicone in the windows and the shower cabin. So just to give you an insight as to what needs doing, I just need to go around the bottom of the shower cabin and silicone that in. I need to silicone in the edges of the flooring here. That will just make that look nice, tidy and clean. And I think I'll do that with white, whereas the shower will be done in sort of same dark grey as the shower and the sink unit. And the windows will be done in a clear mastic silicone sealant on the inside here. So that's done. Hopefully no more dust or debris will get in there. And I'll be doing that all the way around on the inside of the bathroom. Feeling really pleased that this room's coming together. It's Saturday now, and on Tuesday the skirting boards arrive. So once they've arrived, I'll know for sure, once I start fitting those, if there's any more painting that I need to do around the edges. And then the final thing that I'll be doing is oiling up the woodwork and doing any little touch-ups of the paintwork on the white on the beams that I think are necessary. I mean, it doesn't need to be perfect, it is a cottage, but things like that, where something's obviously scraped against the ceiling and taken the paint completely off, yeah, that definitely needs to be covered. Other little things that I'd like to just go over, I filled those, so I just want to paint over them just so that it's all fairly white and not sticking out like a sore thumb. So at one point or another it looks like there was some sort of crossbeam that may have come out there, but for whatever reason that's been taken out, or it's a reclaimed one and it's just always been that way since it's lived here. Not sure. As I say, this house is 200 years old, so you never know. The sun is shining, and I'm hoping that if it doesn't rain, I might be able to get out and mow the lawn tomorrow as well. That'd be nice. Yeah. Definitely needs attention. Well, the day hasn't been spent exactly as I had anticipated. I had planned to mow the lawns and to
move things about a bit out here, front and back, and then to do some flooring. Well, due to the mower losing a tyre, then it ran out of fuel and I had to go and pick some up. So between all of that, the flooring's not yet been done. I might go up and have a look after I've had something to eat. But for the moment, done the first pass cut. Definitely need to get the strimmer out here. Bale of daisies, little path of daisies, because I just love them. They're so sweet. Here we go, there's the front. That's been done as well. Now, I don't have one of these ones that picks up the grass cuttings, and I've been advised that the best thing to do is just to actually leave it to mulch. So don't bother raking it all up. What I will do though is I will be sweeping the path, because I'm guessing this is how the path was lost last time. Is over winter it grows really high, and then when you cut the grass around here, or the clover, you end up with this pile of meh. So you can't see the trail, so I'll probably give that a good old sweep over, and on another day get that back. And it will need a few more passes around here to keep the grass down to the correct levels, but we'll let it dry out a bit because it's still a bit wet. Left it for a couple of days. We've had dry weather, but I wouldn't say particularly warm. So yeah. Oh, let me just check the septic tank's lid's still on, because we did go over that and it did go and seat itself a little bit. Oh, hello ladybugs, mating. You don't want cats or peoples, or anybody for that matter, falling into the septic tank. So there we go. You're getting jiggy with it. Like, if you don't mind, a little bit of privacy. This bit here is a bit more wild. Needs some investigating around here. Now originally I was thinking I was going to put the pool down this end, but actually I'm now thinking keep this end, which is near the chickens of the neighbours, for a chicken run, because you've got a vegetable plot over there which belongs to my neighbours, and we've got this area here. So I was thinking maybe I'll just put chicken run in here, down this area, down towards there, chop that off and put a chicken run in. Keep this area private for myself. So I've got my front garden, which I'll try and keep nice and tidy. Again, it needs a lot of weeding and chopping back. The guest bedrooms are up there overlooking it, so I want to keep it looking quite nice and tidy down here and pretty. Yes, birdies. Oh, that's a noisy lot today. Originally I was going to put a path through here between these two trees down to what I was going to put the pool in, and maybe I will, I don't know, but I'm thinking maybe that should be more the other end or a bit further round, so we shall see. But there's a lot of work to do before we get to putting a pool in, finances wise as much as anything, but I need to landscape the garden, need to take out all the old posts, and they'll come in handy as firewood, free firewood. Decide what I want where, plants and trees wise. I would like to put in my trees that I've purchased last year, make a little bit of a woodland down there, and I would also like to put in an allotment myself, so maybe I'll put the allotment in next to where I'm talking about putting the chickens, and keep this area for woodland and anything else that we decide to do. And where I've parked my car there, just to give an idea, that's where the guest parking is going to be, next to those fruit trees. Andy very kindly chopped down those wayward branches that were hanging off of the trees from the storms earlier in the year. So I've got those to sort out and use those for logs for the fire. Put them in next year's pile. What do you reckon, Aslan? Yeah? Yeah, you're being very helpful. Burn Pie eagerly looking through everything to see where all his mice have run off to. Start taking care of the land this year, as well as the exterior of the house, which could do with a power wash, a repaint, some new volleys for the doors, sand down of the window shutters and repaint of those. So still lots to do to keep us all occupied. But for now, time to go in and have a brew. So getting excited now. I've got 2 of these killer smoke detectors for the rooms, 1 for each of the guest suites. I've got this fire extinguisher for the landing up there, which will be installed up there. This, so that's there should, for any reason, guests require a fire extinguisher. Also a fire blanket for each of the rooms as well, because I am a safety girl, and there'll also be a fire blanket in the kitchen as well, because I want to make sure that my guests feel safe and secure here. So these things are important to me. I've also got carbon monoxide detector alarms in my quarters, which is where the boiler room and everything is, because that's where those would be needed. Because it's a heavy gas, it's not upstairs that's the worry with carbon monoxide, it's downstairs. So if it's got to the upstairs, well, it's too late, quite frankly, because you can't get out. So that's why I'll have those downstairs. So should anybody need to get out, it'll go off when it's a level that we can get guests downstairs and out to safety. So that's all good. The fact that I'm looking at safety stuff means we are finally getting there. And the sun is out. It's finally feeling like spring. It was Easter weekend last weekend, and then we had a god-awful time of it during the week where it just rained and rained. I mean, I know it's April and we get April showers. And it is one of the reasons that France, like the UK, is beautiful, lush and green. And it's one of the reasons that I absolutely adore France, is because we get the rain to keep it lush and green, but we get some severely good heat. As soon as the sun comes out, it really warms up. I mean, just standing here on the back doorstep, it's so lovely and warm. Looking at all the lovely blossoms on the tree, it's just feeling like spring. Yeah, just feeling very happy. Right, better get back to the oven because I am cooking. I did notice that the door was open in here, so I do need to just check everything's okay. And Aslan's off investigating. I suspect it's one of the hairy monkeys that has let themselves in here. But yeah. Ooh, we have green shoots. Wonder what we have growing. Oh, how fab. Must be the right time. And these seem to be moulding. Don't know if that's what they're supposed to do, but these are supposed to be herbs. Anyway, but they're not doing much else just yet. Strawberry plants seem to be blooming and having fun. Hazel trees doing well, sprouting new little branches. And one of my oaks is having fun as well. That seems to be quite happy. Not sure what the other ones are up to. One up there as well doing okay. And good old aloe doing its own thing. So yes, should do a bit more watering, see how everybody gets on. Fun in Mummy's workshop. Yes, there's my painting I did years ago of Aslan. And those are planters that I have to put together. I'll probably have to get on with those soon, otherwise there'll be nowhere to plant things. Right, time to water everything. And by the way, I tend to use, I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I tend to use stinging nettles. So I put stinging nettles that I pull up in the watering can, let them mulch and die back. And that's really good for feeding the plants. So going to do that. They seem quite happy. Good morning. I'd say it's bright and early, but it's just early. Today the skirting boards have arrived, so I'll be hopefully fitting those later if all goes well. For now, I'm going to install the smoke detector in the oak suite. So I just need to find, there's my drill, I need to find the right bits. So the first thing I've got to do is to take this, my pen or pencil, and mark up where the holes are going to be that I need to drill, so that I can drill and stick in the little raw plugs. There we are, there's my 2 marks. Drill has been moved from screw to drill. I'm going to drill it left to right. Yeah, time to get on with it. There we are, 2 raw plugs in. One of the red ones broke, so I've put another one in of my own. So having put one screw in, not quite all the way, so that I can position this one, I'll put the next one in, and then once that's done up, I can finish doing the first screw up. All fitted flush. Here we go. Here's the battery activator tab that I need to pull, and I need to put today's date on there, and then I can install it. Okay, so the biro didn't want to work, and the pen I've used doesn't make it particularly clear what that says, but it is the 18th of April 2023 today. So here we have it all installed, and I've tested it. I'm not going to make it squeak for you because it's not a pleasant sound. You obviously don't want these things to go off, but if they do, you want them to be an annoying sound so that you pay attention. So that's all good. But it was a bit of a rigmarole getting it up there. Now, why was that? Luckily, because I have 2 of them, I went and had a look, and this little spring here had popped out and was sticking out the side here, and that was preventing this part and these parts from securing, so I could hook it one side but not the other, because this was making it uneven. So I've put that back in and fitted it back up there, and it now sits flush to the fitting, so that's all good now. Lights, camera, action. Next job today is to finish off this flooring. Now, I had a complete disaster, ran out of flooring, and when I went to buy some more, joy of joys, they no longer make it. They decided to stop making it in February, just as I had been fitting it. So I had to search and find a compatible one. So I think this one matches colour-wise enough. As you can see, there are some differences in colours with the flooring itself, just naturally, because this is all the same stuff. And it kind of matches that last row quite well, likewise. The planks themselves are the same width and length. They are a different depth. So what I've done is I've purchased some more underlay because the previous one planks were 12mm deep and these are 10. So this 2mm will make up the difference on this piece and allow those to sit flush. So that's the job today.
laying this new stuff on top of the previous stuff I laid, what I'm going to do is I'm attaching that using silver tape to bond to that. Just stops that moving around underneath the flooring.
So that's the first piece down. Now what I need to do is I need to make sure that I've got it the correct way round, which I have because it's clicked into here. And then I need to make sure that where I'm going to cut is in line. So two things. The floor here is lower in this corner and the wall, as you can see, is not straight. So what I'm going to do is, like I did with this one, I'm going to cut it straight for the wall. So to do that, he takes another board and marries that up. Like so. Gives you the parallel cut, and then what you want to do is decide how much gap you want. So I only want a little bit of a gap, so I'm not going to cut the whole thing, just going to mark across the top here. Oh, got to love losing the lead out your pencil just when you need it most. Oh, it's trying to do it again. There we go. So just marking that up. As you can see, I've packed the existing board that I've put down there so that there's some extra padding underneath just to level it up, because as you can see, it gets narrower until we're flat. So it's just this bit here that needs leveling up. So I will again pack it and bring that to the right level, and then I will cut this and get that to the correct angle. So I can just move this off of 0, so it's a couple of degrees out. I will now marry that up to the blade and that angle, and then I will cut. There we go, all cut. Now to see if it fits flush to the wall and in line with the grooves on the floor. So let's go. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of breathing gap there. Happy with the first row down. Happy things are in line. Gonna keep laying them, see how we go. So the weather can't make its mind up today, and neither can I. So I have stopped doing the flooring in the other room because it just wasn't happening. I've just taken it out of its pack, letting it breathe, hoping that that's what's causing some of the issues that I'm facing. But I thought I'd come and give this a go instead. So I've cut roughly 45-degree angles on the chop saw on the skirting board here. Now I'm not going to fix this one to the wall because it's going to need some additional chop saw work down that end. But this one here will go into this corner, and then it'll have a straight join at that end to the one that's then going to go all the way to the other corner. I'm going to wood glue these on
cut and prepared my glue gun. So we have a nice angle on there for the beading, and that's what I'm using, interior white wood glue. So that's going to go on the back there, that'll stick to there. I also have some specific oak effect joint stuff, so when I come to joining pieces, the bits that are likely to be showing at the top and the front edges will be colour matched as opposed to being the white glue. So first things first, I'm going to glue this up. Hoping that's going to be enough glue. Going to now stick this to the wall. So there we have it. The first piece is now attached to the wall. And I really quite like that. What do you think? Also, just to show you, this is what it looks like from the top. That piece there isn't attached, but it's cut at this end. So I was quite pleased with that cut, as it's my first one of these. Done coving before, but not skirting boards. It's very, very similar sort of process. And then for this one, it'll be a corner coming out as opposed to going in. I'm not going to do the window area. That's going to be my last area, I think, just in case I mess up anywhere else. So I'm now going to try my next piece being over there. So I'm almost there. However, I do have a little bit left. So I've fitted the bar across the top here now. That's absolutely fixed. So I've cut that to size. And I have gone around 90% of the room with a skirting board. So that's fitted all the way around here. So I'm very happy with that. However, one of the boards that was delivered is the wrong colour. So I've got to take that back because, yeah, that's no good to me. It's completely the wrong colour. So everything that's in here now is glued to the wall and the floor. I'm just missing 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3. And then the skirting board is done. So I've gone around the fireplace as so. So I've kind of gone up to it that side and done the same there, kind of gone up to it as close as I can. Happy with that. And I will then go around and do some beading in an oak finish just to join the floor and the skirting board, just to give it that sort of quality finish. And so nothing can go slipping under edges of floorboards where the or edges of skirting boards where the floorboards aren't even, because the floors aren't even. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with today's work. But it is 8 o'clock now. I am hungry and I am tired, and it's time to stop playing with a chop saw when you get tired. So time to go and find some dinner and clean up, because my hands are rather mucky. And that plaster jobby was because I managed to cut myself opening a pack of floorboards which didn't want to play ball earlier. But I'll just show you what, apart from the mess that I've been making in this room, I have put down a few floorboards but didn't finish it off because it wasn't going quite to plan, and I realised I hadn't taken them all out and let them sort of acclimatise. So I thought, right, do the skirting boards, you've got the skirting boards, take the floorboards out, let them breathe, acclimatise to the room properly, even though they were up here. But just in case that was part of the reason why they were being a bit squirrely, or maybe it was just me being inept today, having a bad day at it, don't know.
Thank you all for joining me for more life at Cottage Tranquility. Look forward to seeing you all again soon.